So many, why can't I talk?
In a world where it's difficult to find a reliable contractor.
Oh.
I don't know. Can you open with in a world?
One of the big problems my clients and I face a lot are finding reliable contractors. Well, I am here today with a contractor I use and trust and refer to a lot of my clients, Josh Payne, and he has helped so many of my clients, and myself included, build the backyard of their dreams. Josh, tell us more about your background.
So I've always had a background in landscaping. I've always loved to be outdoors. I moved to Austin on a landscape architecture internship for Markware Design. They put me in a lot of really beautiful spaces like San Jose, St. Cecilia, and being in those environments really cultivated this desire for me to create spaces like that myself. And I started this chapter of my life to refocus on that and find what I love to do.
And what do you love to do? What do you love the most about what you're doing now?
I focus on backyard environments, so I like to use commercial grade materials that are going to last to create a peaceful place where you want to be, where you want to spend the end of your day.
Yeah, and you did a great job for me, and you've done a great job for a lot of my clients. So if I were somebody and I'm looking to build out my backyard, but I am on a tight budget, where would I begin with you?
I would start by visiting with you and really seeing your vision, seeing what problems you have on the property as far as drainage, unusable space, or an area that just collects weeds is a maintenance issue for you. And I look to prioritize those first. And I like to phase out projects, however your budget allows. But I like to, it's important for me to lay all that stuff out ahead of time before you make the investment so that you can decide what's the best use of funds to get you the backyard of your dreams.
I know as a business owner, managing multiple clients can be a challenge. How do you do it in your business?
This business is a passion project for me. Okay. I've learned from past experience and coming from a high stress environment that I'm not going to spread myself too thin. I like to focus on projects 100% until they're done. That way I can focus all my attention and communication, all my manpower towards one goal. So we're working towards the same end goal together before we move on to the next one. I communicate directly with the customer every day. I'm gonna shoot them a text first thing. Here's the plan for the day, here's the plan for the week. Give them an expectation that I can meet. If there's a problem along the way, we'll address it together. But that is my goal, is not to leave you hanging.
A client reaches out to you. What are the main points that you need to know so you can start on their design or budget?
I need to see a survey so we can see setbacks, overhead power easements. Corner lots have a lot of different setbacks and right-of-way easements to consider.
Okay, so number one, have a survey.
Have a survey, that's important. Even if you have to, a lot of people don't have a survey. So I would say step one is get a survey, have a survey so you know where your property lines are and so everybody's on the same page about what kind of space we're working with.
Okay. And also, if you're one of my clients, I will have your survey on file, so that's a plus.
Step two, I think we need to know if there's anything that we're trying to address as far as functionality of the property, like drainage or positive slope and or usability of a space or your goals for the space. And it's really helpful to have some inspiration pictures or ideally like the customer's vision so that we can look at my vision and their vision and make an aligned vision to move forward in a positive and efficient direction. And from there, I can build budget points and we can make decisions about what exactly we want to install.
I have two questions. So my first question though is, what if someone has a backyard and they don't really know what they want to do with it? They can't envision something and they don't really have inspiration. Can you help them with that?
Yeah, that's very common. A lot of people aren't necessarily comfortable spatially like that, and I think that's one of my strengths is I can generally walk into a space and see or kind of feel out how it should be or roughly spatial dimensions or how a space should flow or where the focal point is. Because standard backyards, you walk out of the back porch and it's just an open expanse and there's no real focal point.
Right.
One thing I like to do is turn that inward so you're looking at your environment is now centered on something versus your neighbor's house.
So Josh, if somebody wants to reach out to you and get a quote and get started on their backyard design, how do they find you and how do they see your work?
I would say the best means is Instagram, Habitat ATX. Reach out and I can do a consult and get the process started. I'd love to help.
All right, great. Thank you for tuning in and be sure to give Josh a follow at Habitat ATX and take care.